journalist, Kappa. Congratulations on your great performance at the Grand. Yeah, I know. Oh, please. Good afternoon, XEspmaster. How are you doing? Would you mind to having an interview right now? No. I would not mind one bit, my good friend, Kappa. Okay, I would like to start the interview right now. Alright, start it. You happy with your results? I'd say so. How was your teammate? Good. They won the first race. How did the others race? Pretty bad. Thank you for your cooperation. I have to go back to the office to write an article now. Bye. Excuse me for yawning. Finally, I am What do you think I'm trying to do? You think this is a joke, Lenny? You think my die-hard ambition to finally finish this game is a joke? Well, guess what? It's not a joke. For insulting me, you will be forced to race with me in the next Grand Prix. Now, I would go, like, pray and stuff, but I don't think I did that last time, so I don't really think it's worth the effort. This is how one loses face. Except it's a video game, so it doesn't matter. Start a race. I sure will start a race. Or will I? Maybe I should go, like, take a nap, because I'm very tired. And I still have to record Sonic Adventure DX after this. Rotary only? Do I even have such a thing? Does such a thing even exist? Does this count? No. Okay, so I know hybrid and turbine doesn't actually exist. So maybe rotary doesn't either. Alright, whatever. I'll just forget about it. Every time I've gone to check the shop to see if they have any of whatever crazy thing is asking me for, they don't have it, so I'm just not even gonna go there. Wonder Cup! Wonder Cup! Wonder Cup! Wonder Cup! Oh, I've already won this one, never mind. Wait, hold on, let me check something real quick. What does it say? Okay, it doesn't swear. That's good. Need rear parts, just any rear parts? Okay. Sure, that is a suspiciously low bar to meet. If you exist at all, you can race in this race. I mean, I guess that's what most of them are. Alright, so these parts races usually are not difficult at all. Whatever. Why is it... Gosh. Oh, I need to turn up the ceiling fan. This is quite... It's not easy being in Texas. During the summer. I guess I might want to double check. Oh no, I forgot to change my engine back. Oh gosh. Maybe I'll go back and turn the AC up or down. I don't know what it's on right now, but whatever it is not enough. I mean, I don't know. If I do that, I'll pay for it in electric costs. The struggles of being an adult. Grape paint. The only color you can get is purple. Trying to strive for a more purple world. Grape paint has been owned by purple supremacists going back... Okay, no, I'm sorry, I'll stop. Okay, so I just said that it's supposed to be easy. Why is this going crappily? Maybe I just haven't hit my heroic second one yet. Like, I did fix the engine. I don't think I messed with anything else in my... If I set up... Oh my goodness, why is this happening? What is Am I just racing really poorly? Or, like, what's going on here? Did I, like, mess up one of my parts? Hold on. Maybe I think I know what's happening. Yeah, I have the wrong tires on. Oh my goodness. I sort of took a guess as to what tires I needed, and I never bothered to double check. Alright, so let's try it with these and see if I have any more success. Alright. Let's see if this goes any better now that I have more suitable tire setup. More suitable tires. Get out of my way. Ha! You died. Alright, I'm trying to think of something else to talk about that isn't Harry Potter. I don't know what those glowing green lights on the side were. Just hold on a second. Okay, I thought I was gonna sneeze, but I didn't. It'll probably come back later. Yeah, there's more of those. I wonder if this was built over like a natural source of uranium or something. Toy Story. Let's talk about Toy Story. I figured it out. After sitting here and thinking very carefully about what the best thing to talk about is, that's the conclusion I've arrived to. So I don't know if I've probably brought this up in a previous video about how I have kind of less than warm thoughts about Toy Story 4, despite the fact that I absolutely the movie is not out yet. So this is a sort of I mean that in like a preliminary way, as in like I'm not sure if I'm even gonna go watch it. But I will absolutely adore the first three. That's the third one in particular has a very special place in my heart. I'm young enough to where I grew up watching the first two on VHS. And then Toy Story 3 came out when I was in middle school, which is a very tumultuous time in my life. I think that just, I don't want to get too personal, but I think it is partially due to the time in which I watched it that it kind of has such a strong pull on me. But yeah, Toy Story 4 is just, I don't know, like, it just, I actually kind of, this is something which I'm probably in the minority on, but I'd kind of rather, like, it was pretty clear to me that Toy Story was intended by the writers initially to be a trilogy, and that the third one was supposed to wrap up the story. I mean, it went off on a huge, like, final note. Andy went off to college. The toys have moved on to a new owner. And I guess you could say that's a sequel hook, but I didn't really interpret it that way. I interpreted it as the end of the journey. They were there. Woody was there for Andy, and now he needs to be there for Bonnie. I don't know. So I just, that's not to say they can never ever bring back a franchise which is ended, but if they do, especially one that is as important to me as that one, it should be for something that's gonna really kind of blow me away. I guess is the way I look at it. It should be some really interesting insight into the universe, or something just like entirely new. And I don't get the impression from the trailers that it's going to be that. Like, the impression I've got off the plot is that it's going to be sort of like a thematic repeat of Toy Story 3, which also had already in itself has themes which are from Toy Story 2, kind of a continuation of those, so I don't know. I don't know if lightning can strike twice on this. I mean, I've even seen some really cynical people might argue that Toy Story 3 was actually an unnecessary sequel. And, you know, I guess I can see that, but I don't necessarily, because it's such a sort of integral part of how I view the franchise, it's difficult for me to kind of understand that viewpoint. But yeah, it's whatever anyone thinks. And on the one hand, but on the other hand, I will admit that there's something just really comforting about the idea of getting to see all these characters I like again. But I don't know. I also kind of think that's sort of playing to my more, I don't know. I won't say shallow impulses, but like, I don't know. I guess my more sentimental side, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but if you could easily just take the more cynical angle and say, well, it's what a lot of movie studios are doing. They're bringing back something which people do have an emotional connection with, just like that, in hopes to just having that alone be the reason why people see the movie. Especially Disney has been doing that a lot. Like with their live-action remakes, and Mary Poppins Returns, and their sequels they've made to Wreck-It Ralph, and the sequel of Frozen that is coming out later this year. The Star Wars new trilogy, to an extent, too. And you could even put the Marvel movies in this category. However, they're sort of an exception too, because they have developed an audience beyond those of the original comics. So, I don't know. But for the so maybe not the Marvel movies, but and maybe even the Star Wars movies avert this partially. But for the most part, a lot of these movies that are coming out are made to be sort of, I guess, I guess the harsh way in which some people would put it would be nostalgia pandering. But it's not, like I said, I don't think it's inherently a bad thing, but it's just very overused, and I think that a lot of people in general are becoming kind of tired of it. So that's what makes me not kind of want to be maybe a little more skeptical, like, I guess, cynical about my own feelings being sort of toyed with here. Because if they make like a, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example. If Disney decides to make like The Little Mermaid 3 or something, because there already was a second one that was like one of their direct-to-DVD things. But like if they decide to make like a new The Little Mermaid movie, and it ends up being like the best thing ever, then ultimately the accusations that is, oh, it's nostalgia pandering, will kind of be weakened because it's such a creative, if it's such a creative movie on its own. But if it just is kind of like a sort of bland continuation or like a remake of the first one, then a lot of people are going to ask the question, what's the point? Well, you know, you got people to see it because they have a connection with the original movie, but then if you didn't add anything to it, then what's the point? Just to make money, I guess? I mean, obviously movies have to make money, that's why they're made, but you can push that too far. Alright, that's I'm gonna put a lid on that rant before it becomes too rambly. Outpalia. I'm never gonna get over the weird names in this game. Good old, and this is one I've never raced on before, so good old American short. Alright, let's do this. Good old American style. I guess, I know that ChoroQ has a fan base which is pretty spread across the world. Like, I know in the server there's people from, like, Asia in it. Me being a, boring old American, it's kind of interesting whenever I see stuff like this, which is America shown through the culture of another country. And you see this a lot with Japan because, I don't know, I guess it's difficult to make a generalization about a whole country like that. But in general, Japan and the United States have pretty good relations. So America usually is portrayed fairly positively. Or at least, that's not to say it's never made fun of or anything, but it's never made out to be like the evil empire that's the second coming of Hitler that's taking over the world and killing off every single minority. Like, some people in America view it that way. And yeah, there are certainly other countries that have a very negative view of America, such as North Korea. But, I mean, who cares about North Korea? They suck. But there's a lot of countries that are enemies with America. I'm not sure. I'm curious how America would be portrayed by, like, European countries, because for the most part, America gets along with them, despite some historic clashes between, you know, America and Germany, America and the UK. If you go really far back. I guess America and France has usually been pretty friendly. I forget, whose side was France on in World War I? I know there was the Allies in World War II. I don't remember World War I. But France did support the American Revolution, and without them, probably we wouldn't have won. I'm trying to remember. I want to say that France actually supported the Confederate States of America in the Civil War. Did they? Am I making that up? Or did they support the Union? Or were they neutral? Because, I mean, depending on what you want to count as America, that could count as it being against America, but it's also for America, so that's confusing. I will not bring the Civil War into this, I suppose. So, I don't really know how to follow that up. Just randomly got very, not quite political, but like, historic, I guess. I watched an interesting video once about like the countries in the world that have the most positive opinion of America. And also another one about like why Japan and America get along, despite the fact that 80 or so years ago there was a war between the two that was quite ugly. And the reason is basically because the Japanese culture now, I think that, I mean, this is just, consider this like speculation. I can't speak for the people of Japan or anything like that, but I think most of them sort of see the imperial era as like not a good part of their history. Like how Americans don't see slavery or the Trail of Tears as a good part of their history. So like, that America put a stop to it could be seen as like even a positive, even though there was the whole atomic bomb, the nuclear attack thing, which is obviously, well, I don't know. Is it obvious? Like, it's... Depending on who you ask, it's either like a terrifying act of war, or just unnecessary evil that had to be done to win the war and prevent a greater loss of life. I will say that, as far as my own opinion goes, I don't think the United States, kind of knew what the full fallout of a nuclear attack would be at the time. So you could argue that it was reckless to use the weapon anyway, since it had just been kind of finalized. I don't know, it is a fairly complex issue. So not the type I should talk about while racing Japanese toy cars. Alright, that's another one down. And who? I got that one guy from Cars who's like the stereotypical hippie. Nice. Alright, is that all of the races I can race in right now? I think it might be. I guess I can check the shop and double check if there's a, if there is in fact a, whatever it's called. Because really just because I don't have anything better to do. Blah 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 blah. What is it? I think it's rotary engine? Is that what it said? Is this the highest rotary engine there is, though? Is there like a double rotary engine? I think that's the one it called for. So if I can get that knocked out now, that would be splendid. But let me check all the shops, just to be sure. What? Isn't this like... It's the same one that I just was looking at? It doesn't have a different name. That's weird. I don't get this game sometimes. Is it just like a better Rotary Engine 2, Rotary Engine harder? No one's gonna get that reference anymore. I wonder if Seamus is still making videos. Yeah, here's another Rotary Engine. Do these all have the same inventory? And I've just been like, twin and cylinder. A shockingly huge engine. Wait a minute. Oh wait, no, never mind. This is the twin. Oh, I read that as an and sign, but it is actually an 8. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Let's check this out. Okay, so I guess all three of them have like a overlapping inventory of some sort. I did not realize that. Alright, let's check and see if that actually is what I need to get, or if I just bought that for absolutely no reason. Okay, no. Rotary is the one I need. Uptown Resort Medium. Let's do it. Always liked this level. I never knew of cows being a seaside resort, but sure, whatever. Have I told the story about me, like, writing out the chord changes to this in my chemistry class? Probably I have. In fact, I've probably told it multiple times, knowing me. Given how I have not ever done a clean sweep and watched this whole series in one go. Because as I explained, the old videos are not very good. Like, anyone trying to actually use this as a walkthrough would have to slog through the early parts before they got to what the part that's actually useful. So this is almost like this project sort of more exists as like a legacy project of me personally than it does an actual walkthrough. Which I think I've said this in the past, how despite the fact that I chose to title this a walkthrough, it is not a walkthrough, or if it is, it's one of the worst ones in history. It's more just my last ties to the ChoroQ fandom. Neither lives while the other survives. So I must finish this Let's Play, or else I will be killed by Voldemort. That didn't make any sense. That's kind of how it feels, though. I feel like I've just been... It's like taking... I think half of the stubbornness I possess has gone towards finishing this Let's Play. But I've talked about that so much. I'll probably give one last, like... I'll probably have one last video, like, sort of marveling at how long this went on when I'm done with it. But until then, I want to just play it cool. No! Yeah, I like these because I don't even really have to try that hard. I can just kind of and still win. I mean, if I were a smart person who's very good at actually focusing on things, I could use this opportunity to improve my fundamentals. But, nah. Alright, once the next Grand Prix starts, I'm going to end the video as usual, as per the norm. As per the uses. Alright. Yep, as I suspected, it is now Pride Month. Happy Pride Month, everyone. In real life and in the game. Sorry, no, I'm not apologizing. But, anyway, that'll be it for this time. Next time on ChoroQ, I'll win the June Cup, and which will leave me only one more to go. Which hopefully after I do so, something will actually happen, because if it doesn't, I'm going to start panicking. See you guys.